Alright, so I haven't made a video in a few days now since I was poisoned, which, good news, I'm doing a little better. Not a little better, I'm doing great, actually. But I want to talk a little bit about this little thing I've done. Uh, this little thing I've done to this little laptop, um, which is I've installed Linux on it, specifically Fedora. Sorry, I'm trying to get it back on. I don't know if the battery crapped out or if it's because I was waiting too long in the home screen. Anyway, that aside, come on. I believe in you. Maybe I don't. Okay, so yeah, I installed Linux on this thing. This is pretty. I think it's like 9 years old. It's like an HP Spectre 360 something. Um, it's one of these like kind of convertible things. You can pop around like that. Um, but yeah, this was like my mom's like old laptop she had before she got like a MacBook. Um, and I used it like a little bit after that to like play Sonic Adventure on. That was a few years ago, but the battery just was not great. In fact, I haven't replaced it yet. The battery really bad, and it kind of became a little unusable. But recently, I was curious about getting Linux installed on it, just because I've been tinkering around with that. I installed it through like a virtual machine on my MacBook, and I thought it was really nice. And it was one of those things where I booted it up in the MacBook. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm. Eventually, like, I was like, I knew this would be on my trajectory of like computer things at some point. Like I just kind of realized like the inevitability of me becoming a Linux person in the moment was like very strong, and I like um, just the UI was crazy. Really, really spoke to me. I kind of put it like it doubles down on all the things I liked about pre Mac OS Tahoe era Mac OS. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But yeah, I really liked it, and I did like trying it out on my MacBook. And so I was like, all right, cool. I will at some point get in that because for a few months my kind of idea was that like whenever Asahi Linux has their full support of the M4 chips, I would get on board and start using that. But that's a bit off. That's a bit a ways away. So I was, kind of holding out hope, whatever, kind of swapping to open source apps for things, so I could be ready to use Asahi Linux when that dropped. Um, but recently, I was finding it was like very distracting to have my personal stuff and my school stuff on the same laptop. I was just getting distracted, going on Discord, watching YouTube, all this stuff. All right, it was very hard to work on that machine like that, and so I was like, something's got to change. I got to do something to fix this up. And so combine that with my general kind of dissatisfaction with like Liquid Glass on Mac OS Tahoe, and I was just like, yeah, okay, I gotta do something. And so I figured it might be a good idea to use this old laptop. Um, and so, like I said, the battery's still kind of shot, but no one's used this in ages. Like, this hasn't been anyone's main computer since like 2019, really. I think around then. But yeah, so anyway, um, sorry, let's put it back up. Um, come on. Come on. Sorry, I did this thing where I locked down my drive, not knowing, and so I have to enter my password in like twice whenever I boot up the machine. Um, I'll probably turn that off because it's a little excessive. But yeah, I installed it on here. It was pretty quick, pretty easy. I tried once on another old laptop a few years ago, and I messed something up. It didn't work. Like, and I didn't bother troubleshooting it. But yeah, I was like, okay, we'll try it. We'll try like maybe using this as like the personal computer since this is the operating system I like most, and then my idea was to keep using MacBook for primarily school things because I bought it for school. Like that was the main purpose of the purchase. I bought it with like my school money, and Like I wanted something a little more reliable. At least when I don't know Linux well, I feel like it was nice to. It was a good idea to have something reliable for like my work, my schoolwork, and then I would let this HP laptop be the. Why did my TV turn on? Okay, whatever. I thought I would let this HP laptop be the kind of my personal machine. And so yeah, I'm still on like this little stock wallpaper. I actually think it's really nice. Like this is so cute. Like it's cool. I like it a lot. A lot of charm to it. But yeah, and so I'm just gonna like see if I can angle the screen a little bit. Ignore my bottle of lotion. Move that. I gotta. You see, I just shaved, and it's like shaved my arms, my face. It's like okay, I gotta lotion up. So, regardless, I don't know if I can properly capture the screen very well. So I guess I'll just explain. I was hoping I could kind of show it off. But yeah, so the machine itself is pretty solid. It's actually like I don't know, it's pretty good. It's got 16 gigabytes of RAM, which I imagine at the time, like 2016, that was probably pretty cool. Because like even my school laptop is 16 gigabytes, and that was like the lowest it came with. But imagine at the time, like 9 years ago. No, oof, yeah, 9 years ago, 2016. Wait, yeah. So yeah, I imagine like at the time that was pretty crazy. It's even got 500 something gigabytes of storage, which I think is also crazy because like that's more. It's more than like my laptop, my MacBook, which like I said, I got like the lowest end M4 MacBook, because like I read on like Apple charges crazy for extra storage, and so I felt like if I need more storage, I'll just get an SSD and plug it in, whatever. But yeah, so anyway, all that said, all that said, it's a pretty good machine specs wise, I think. It was pretty slow on Windows 10, which, surprise, surprise, this thing wasn't getting Windows 10, or I'm sorry, Windows 11. It was cutting off at Windows 10, which is, I guess, understandable because like this thing was chugging. It was actually very loud, and it would get very hot on Windows 10, which right now, like the fans right here, this is cold to the touch. Like it's not, fans are not on, and it's kind of crazy because like if I was just on the home screen of Windows 10, like if I was just on my desktop, it would go crazy. But it's calm, it's cool, and if I have multiple tabs open, the fans will turn on and it'll get kind of warm, but it will not reach any of the heights that it reached back on Windows, which is kind of my main thing. Like I just want to talk about. It's like it really did like increase the performance of this machine. For the better. Like it's crazy. And for me, it was really kind of eye-opening to show just how much a bad operating system can bloat up a perfectly fine machine. Because for what I need this for, just like for personal kind of computing stuff, like I was just messing around on the internet, reading, internet stuff, whatever. Like this works. For my like creative workflow, it might be a little limiting. I'm not sure because I haven't really tried because it's not really the purpose. Actually, I use this iPad for most of my creative stuff because it's got Procreate, Clip Studio Paint, and I do most of my like my personal writing on this. It's kind of my idea because I going back to this broader theme, I really wanted to segment out my devices, just help me focus better when I'm on them. But yeah, this is great, and I'm like, just kind of my favorite thing is just the way the UI looks. So just kind of show here. I'm gonna just hope this looks good. All right, I don't know what you can see. This is horrible to watch, I'm sure. Just kind of show here. We got the desktop, and let's see. Press like Windows key, and it like takes you here, which is kind of similar to like the mission control view on Mac. But what's nice is that from here, this is where you can type to say, open up different apps. So I can open up Steam. Which is pretty easy to install on here, all things considered. Like I would say probably like a little more straightforward than even installing it on like a Mac, which is interesting. I I would say that's gonna dox me, but like that's my YouTube username, so I don't think it really matters too much. But yeah, and it boots up pretty quick. Like this, I mean, Steam takes a minute, even on like my MacBook, which is pretty new. And I bet this thing could run Silksong. In fact, I'm pretty sure it could. It's run the 3 games I've thrown at it: Undertale, Yume Nikki, and Sonic Adventure. It's run those pretty well, which I wasn't even sure. Like, supposedly, like if you go on Steam, it doesn't say Sonic Adventure Steam Deck certified. I don't really know what any of that means. Really, I would assume anything Steam Deck certified would work on Linux. That was kind of my understanding of what that meant. But it works right out. Like I had to change nothing. I got it running perfectly. So I don't know what's going on with Steam. I don't know. I have no clue. I'm assuming Proton just works. It just turns on. But I don't know. I'm new to all of this. But yeah, just like the UI is like crazy good. And like I said, like the thing I liked about Mac OS pre Tahoe was the UI. Like it felt very streamlined, very smooth. And that everything, the things I liked about it just like apply here 10 times better, like 10 times more. Like everything about this is a better experience. Just in terms of like the way information's laid out and the smoothness of the operating system, it's really good. And I recommend definitely if you have like just an old laptop lying around, this is worth trying. It was very easy for me to set up. I had one thing I had to turn off, like one security setting on the laptop I had to turn off. But that was as easy as like Googling. It took me 30 minutes max to set this up. Definitely I think doable by just like anyone. Now I installed Fedora, which from my understanding is one of the more like kind of cutting edge Linux distros. I wasn't doing that to like, have the cutting edge thing. When I was like looking for ones to test on my MacBook, I was looking for ones that supported like ARM architecture, which I don't know what that means at all. But what I do know is that like the M4 chips are ARM chips, and so I would give it. Sorry, the poison still remains a little bit. But from my understanding, it worked better. Like the virtual machine could take advantage of the Mac's like native hardware better if it was using ARM because that's what the chip is made for. I don't really know. I don't understand this stuff. I'm new. But yeah, it's I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling though, but I think it's really nice. The one thing, and this isn't Linux, it's this stupid HP laptop. I hate this trackpad. It's very clicky. I don't. It feels like there's nothing behind it, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. And the scrolling is like way too sensitive, and I know I can fix that. But it's just like I don't have to fix that out of the box on a Mac. And I'm even wondering if this is like an operating system thing because it was like that on when I was using the virtual machine on Linux. Like it was similar to that, and it worked like this in Windows. So I'm actually now I'm talking about it. I think this might just be a Mac OS thing that I like better. I think it's just like Mac OS is like scrolling better out of the box. But yeah, I can totally see a future where I just use Linux on my computers. And there's the versatility of like, it's so customizable and it can work on so many different devices. Like all these like, gaming handhelds seem to like run on Linux. At least the Steam Deck does. I'm pretty sure others do, I think. I'm not too in on the scene because I buy these, so like I'm not really in the know necessarily in what's going on in the handheld space, but I'm pretty sure at least I know the Steam Deck runs on Linux, and I think others do too. I know there's like the Windows handheld OS that's come out. But yeah, anyway, all that said, this I think, especially if you're looking to like kind of segment things better, if you just like, slap Linux on an old laptop, it'll, unless this thing's like ancient, it should give it some more life, and can maybe help you segment your digital life a little better. So yeah, I think it's the video. I have a lot I actually wanted to make. Like I've had ideas for videos, so I'll probably have some more coming out soon. Maybe over the next few days. And yeah, thanks for watching. Well, let's see. Let's talk about item of the video. Is this lotion I got right here? I don't actually like it that much. There's this one. I think I threw the bottle away finally, but there was one that like came in like a tube or maybe like a tub, and I like that a little better. This feels like it's more suited for faces. In fact, it probably is definitely suited for faces. But I've been using it on like my arms and legs. Does it specify anywhere? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't specify. But it's just, I don't know, it feels like face lotion. It's a lot thinner. It works fine though. Like, it works about as well. I just prefer the texture of the other one. But I do recommend you moisturize, especially if you shave, like your arms, your face, but like especially like arms and stuff a lot, or your legs, because it will irritate, especially like for me, like in the thigh area, like my skin will like break out if I don't use lotion after I shave. So yeah, and even though you can see right there, like I still like it's not perfect. I'm still trying to like figure out the proper shaving techniques. But yeah, buy lotion. Look at that, yeah. All right, in the video.